Look around you. Airports are open but planes sit idle. Boardwalks are empty. Hotel rooms once sold out are now just dark windows. This is the silent collapse of American tourism, a crisis unraveling in plain sight. Today, we reveal the 10 states facing a catastrophic tourism crisis and what it means for the future of the country. Texas, a state synonymous with wide-open spaces and boundless opportunity. A place where everything is bigger, bolder, and brimming with potential. The land of big dreams, a place celebrated for its vibrant cities, its entrepreneurial spirit, and its unwavering sense of independence. It's a state that has always drawn people in, promising a better life and a chance to make their mark. But even the mightiest of states can face unforeseen challenges. Texas is facing a big problem, a challenge that threatens its economic vitality and its very identity. Once bustling cities like Austin, the state capital and a hub of innovation, and San Antonio, steeped in history and known for its vibrant riverwalk, are seeing empty hotel rooms and thinning crowds. The energy that once defined these cities is slowly dissipating. Major hotel chains in Houston, a global center for energy and commerce, and Dallas, a financial powerhouse and home to countless corporations, struggle to fill rooms, even on weekends. The hospitality industry, a crucial pillar of the Texas economy, is feeling the strain. The flow of business travelers and vacationers, the lifeblood of these urban centers, has slowed to a crawl. The highways are less congested, the airports are eerily quiet, and the tourist hotspots are far from bustling. Small towns, dependent on weekend getaways and festivals, the charming destinations that offer a respite from city life, are hit even harder. These communities, often relying on tourism for their survival, are facing an existential threat. Brutal heat waves, an increasingly common occurrence, are turning peak season into survival mode. The scorching temperatures are deterring visitors and making outdoor activities unbearable. Fewer tourists mean less spending, less tax revenue, a ripple effect that impacts every corner of the state, and cuts to public services. Essential programs and infrastructure projects are being jeopardized. The cycle is vicious, a downward spiral that threatens to undermine the state's prosperity. Attractions lose funding, making Texas less appealing. The very things that draw people to Texas are at risk of deteriorating. The state's identity as a tourism powerhouse is at risk. The image of Texas as a vibrant and welcoming destination is fading. If this trend continues, if the decline is not reversed, Texas could face a permanent shift in travel patterns. Tourists may choose to explore other destinations, leaving Texas behind. The unraveling has begun. The threads of the Texas tourism industry are starting to come loose, and without drastic change, without a concerted effort to revitalize its tourism sector, Texas may find itself truly alone. In Illinois, Chicago's global magnetism is fading. International tourism has plummeted, leaving a massive hole in the city's budget. Headlines about crime and high taxes are scaring off visitors. The ripple effect is statewide. Historic attractions in small towns are suffering. Local economies built around tourism face a quiet catastrophe. Every empty hotel room and quiet restaurant means lost jobs and struggling families. The state's budget is under pressure, threatening essential services. Illinois' over-reliance on Chicago is a dangerous gamble. Without a bold strategy, the tourism crisis could spiral into a full-blown disaster. Illinois stands at a crossroads. Act now, or risk collapse. Missouri's tourism engine is sputtering. From St. Louis to Branson, visitor spending is down and hotel vacancies are up. Branson's family-friendly entertainment hub is especially hard hit. Missouri relied on drive-in tourism, but inflation is keeping families home. Small towns dependent on seasonal visitors are struggling to survive. For many, tourism isn't just part of the economy, it is the economy. The decline threatens their very existence. Missouri's over-reliance on domestic tourism is a structural weakness. Without new strategies, the state's tourism industry could stall out for good. The Show Me State is being shown a harsh reality. It's time for Missouri to reinvent itself, or risk fading away. Louisiana's legendary hospitality is facing empty streets and shrinking crowds. International travel to New Orleans has dropped sharply, gutting the city's economy. Tens of thousands of tourism jobs are at risk, from chefs to musicians. Rising crime, inflation, and extreme weather are scaring off visitors. Hurricanes and higher costs make trips less appealing and less affordable. The crisis isn't just in New Orleans. Baton Rouge, Shreveport, and rural parishes are suffering too. Louisiana's identity is built on celebration, but the foundations are shaking. The state must act fast to bring back the crowds before the music stops. The Big Easy's future depends on it. Even Arizona's Grand Canyon can't escape the tourism downturn. Visitor spending is down 7%, a massive shock for the state. International tourism has slowed dramatically, and the state feels the pain. Record heat waves and water shortages make Arizona less appealing. News of water restrictions and shrinking lakes creates negative perceptions. Higher airfare and extreme weather deter travelers. Hotels and resorts are seeing fewer bookings, leading to layoffs. The entire tourism ecosystem, from restaurants to parks, is under strain. Fewer visitors mean less revenue for conservation and maintenance. Arizona must confront these challenges or risk watching its tourism industry dry up. Hawaii, once the ultimate paradise, is in crisis. Visitor numbers and spending have plummeted. Flights and hotels are now too expensive for many families. New regulations on vacation rentals have reduced affordable options. Wildfires and natural disasters have cast a shadow over the islands. Tourism fatigue among locals is growing. Some feel overwhelmed and unwelcome. The state's economy is dangerously one-dimensional with no fallback plan. When tourism falters, the entire state suffers. Hawaii is a stark warning about putting all your eggs in one basket. Paradise is on the brink and recovery is uncertain. The Aloha state must adapt, or face a painful reckoning. New York's tourism industry is struggling to recover. 3 million fewer visitors than projected, a massive gap. International tourists, the city's big spenders, haven't returned in full force. Soaring costs make New York vacations out of reach for many. Safety concerns and negative headlines hurt the city's image. Local businesses and jobs across the state are feeling the pain. Tax revenue is down, threatening public services. New York's status as a top destination is no longer guaranteed. The city must act fast to avoid a long-term decline. Florida, the Sunshine State, a land synonymous with vibrant beaches, thrilling theme parks, and a laid-back lifestyle, has long been a magnet for tourists from around the globe. Its economy has been built on the promise of sun-kissed vacations and unforgettable experiences. But now the state is facing a tourism storm, a confluence of factors threatening to disrupt its economic engine. The sunny skies are being overshadowed by a growing sense of uncertainty. Flight bookings from Canada, a crucial source of international visitors, have plunged 70%, a staggering decline that sends shockwaves through the industry. It's not just a dip, it's a collapse, a dramatic contraction that raises serious questions about the state's economic resilience. This translates to billions in lost revenue, a financial blow that reverberates across various sectors, impacting businesses large and small. And with this downturn, thousands of jobs are at risk, leaving families and communities facing an uncertain future. The employment landscape is shifting, and the consequences could be far-reaching. The entire ecosystem, the intricate web of businesses and services that rely on tourism, from the bustling theme parks of Orlando to the charming small businesses along the Gulf Coast, is threatened, facing unprecedented challenges and an uncertain path forward. Florida's over-reliance on tourism, its dependence on a single industry, is now a glaring vulnerability, exposing the state to economic shocks and instability. The state's unique financial structure with no state income tax means the budget depends heavily on tourist spending, making it particularly susceptible to fluctuations in visitor numbers. Fewer visitors mean less money flowing into the state's coffers, impacting funding for essential services like schools, infrastructure projects, and public services that benefit all residents. The ripple effects are statewide, touching every corner of Florida. From the iconic theme parks of Orlando, to the vibrant shores of Miami, and the tranquil beaches of the Gulf Coast. The state faces fierce competition from other tourist destinations vying for the same visitors, and a potential branding problem, as its image is increasingly shaped by factors beyond sunny beaches and theme park thrills. Florida's tourism model, once seemingly invincible, is now proving fragile and vulnerable to external pressures. Without significant change and adaptation, the economic forecast could be stormy for years to come, casting a shadow over the Sunshine State's future. California's golden sheen is fading. Declining visitor numbers and rising costs are shaking the state's economy. Fewer international travelers mean less spending in major cities. Hotel revenue is down, especially in San Francisco, which faces safety and image problems. High costs are driving tourists to other destinations. Anaheim, wine country, and coastal towns are all feeling the pinch. The state's appeal is no longer enough to guarantee crowds. California's tourism industry must adapt or risk a long-term slide. The crisis exposes the vulnerability of relying on reputation alone. The Golden State needs to restore its luster, fast. Nevada, a state synonymous with dazzling lights and high-rolling fortunes, the most tourism-dependent state in the United States, is facing a significant crisis. The once reliable flow of tourists has slowed to a trickle, leaving a gaping hole in the state's economy. Las Vegas's famed luck, built on decades of attracting visitors from around the globe, is seemingly running out. The vibrant energy that once defined the city is fading. Hotel occupancy rates are plummeting, with once bustling lobbies now eerily quiet. And gaming revenue, the lifeblood of Nevada's economy, is significantly down, reflecting a sharp decline in consumer spending and visitor numbers. The iconic Las Vegas Strip feels noticeably less electric, its dazzling neon lights dimmed, and the usual throngs of people replaced by sparse foot traffic. The economic downturn has put jobs at risk, leaving many casino workers and hospitality staff facing an uncertain future. Soaring costs from resort fees to show tickets have made the once budget-friendly Vegas trip a thing of the past, pricing out many potential visitors. Competition from new casinos and entertainment venues in other states is fierce, drawing visitors away from Nevada. The battle for tourism dollars is intensifying, with other destinations aggressively vying for a piece of the pie. Nevada's reliance on a one-trick economy, heavily dependent on tourism and gaming, is dangerously exposed, leaving it vulnerable to economic shocks. There is no readily available Plan B, no diversified industries to cushion the blow. When tourism falters, the state falters, impacting everything from education to infrastructure. This isn't just a temporary downturn or a minor setback, it feels like a permanent reset, a fundamental shift in the economic landscape. The house, once a guaranteed winner, is starting to lose. And the stakes couldn't be higher for the future of Nevada's economy and the livelihoods of its residents. Nevada must diversify its economy, moving beyond its reliance on tourism and embracing new industries. Otherwise, it will face a future it can't bet its way out of, a future of economic decline and missed opportunities. The glittering oasis of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada as a whole is at a critical crossroads, facing a pivotal moment in its history. The time to act, to innovate, and to build a more resilient and diversified economy is now, before it's too late. Across America, the tourism industry is cracking under new pressures. This isn't just isolated trouble, it's a nationwide crisis affecting millions. The stability we once took for granted is gone. If this shocked you, imagine what's next. Help us keep uncovering the truth, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant.